One of those symbols, and I'm sure that you've seen several examples of it, you've seen it all over this country in years gone by, and it's a symbol that's making a comeback, is what we would call the peace sign. I'm going to show you there on the screen there, the peace sign. Now, this thing has a history, and most people would recognize it as, well, that's the, if you saw that symbol, you would say that's the sign for peace. Well, let's take a look at it very quickly. I'm going to read you some quotes. This is from Kathy. This is an excellent source. I encourage you to get this. A Kathy Burns book on Masonic and occult symbols, and it's a large book. You can't sit down and read it all at once, but it's page after page of symbols. And I think the educated Christian really needs to get a hold of something like this, and that way they can kind of know exactly what it is that they're seeing, or maybe their kids are seeing. A lot of this stuff shows up in kids' cartoons, and parents just don't know what they're looking at. But here's the research that she did, Kathy Burns, on the peace symbol. I'm going to read some quotes from her book. She says this concerning the peace sign, that throughout the 60s into the present day, this symbol is the Teutonic rune of death, and I'm going to show you that. 1950s peace advocate Gerald Holtham may have been commissioned by communist sympathizer Bertrand Russell to design a symbol to unite leftist peace marchers in 1958. That is about the time that that symbol came out. She said, it is clear that either Holtham or Russell deemed the Teutonic cross as the appropriate symbol for their cause. Listen to what else she says about it. Throughout the last 2,000 years, this symbol has designated hatred of Christians. Nero, who despised Christians, crucified the Apostle Peter on a cross head downward. This hideous event resembled the Teutonic cross and became a popular pagan insignia of the day. Thereafter, this sign became known as the Neronic cross, or the cross of Nero. The peace symbol, which is also called the broken cross, or the crow's foot, the witch's foot, the Nero cross, or the sign of the broken Jew, and the symbol of the Antichrist, is actually a cross with the arms broken. It also signifies the gesture of despair and the death of man. She says, quoting from a book, she says, the Germanic tribes who used it attributed strange and mystical properties to the sign. Such a rune is said to have been used by black magicians in pagan incantations and condemnations. To this very day, the inverted broken cross, identical to the socialist peace symbol, is known in Germany as the Todesrune, or death symbol, or death rune. Not only was it ordered by Hitler's National Socialists that it must appear on German death notices, but it was part of the official inscription prescribed for the gravestones of Nazi officers of the dread SS. The symbol suited Nazi emphasis on pagan mysticism. Now she has a quote from Anton LaVey, who was the head of the First Church of Satan. Here's what Anton LaVey said about this so-called peace symbol. He says, quote, it is an ancient and powerful symbol of Antichrist. During the Dark Ages, it was used in Druid witchcraft and by Satanists of all sorts during the initiation of a new member to their order. They would draw the magic circle and give the initiate a cross. The initiate would then lift the cross and turn it upside down. He would then renounce Christianity in all three dimensions of time, past, present, and future, and break the horizontal pieces downward, forming the design of the raven's foot. This ugly symbol is nothing short of blasphemy against the Holy Ghost. Now this is from Anton LaVey. For one to wear or display this symbol is to announce either knowingly or unknowingly that you have rejected Christ. Remember, symbolism is a picture language, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. Catch that. This guy is saying that this symbol is a symbol for blaspheming the Holy Ghost, and a person who uses this symbol, either knowingly or unknowingly, is announcing and proclaiming their rejection of Christ.